Hello, YouTube, and welcome to Darlington Motor Speedway, site to race number 21 of the NRSL Coke Vanilla Cup Series on season number 5. Joining me in the booth yet again this season is Stephen Paul III.
Hello, guys. Ready for the final? It's only race this week.
Well, I was figuring you were going to say the final crown jewel of the year. How about that?
Yes.
Front row today, if you didn't watch qualifying, it's an all Evernham front row with Charles Jackson starting alongside Zach Rogers on his first career pole of the in the Cup Series. Delon Abrahamian and Bill Bragg Jr. make up row 2 with Ali Nelson and Henry Sanford row 3. Stephen Paul III makes it 3 straight Bill Davis racing cars on that outside row there, 2, 3, and 4, and Vince Amarego will start alongside. Cole Deaver will start alongside William Duncan in row 5. Here's the rest of the starting grid as I hand it over to Stephen for his thoughts and predictions.
My predictions for the race is definitely going to be some wrecks and some hitting the wall and some Darlington stripes. I expect a really good race. Just as the crown jewels brings out the best of the drivers here. My picks to win, definitely looking inside that top 10. Abrahamian was pretty fast. The RCR cars of Will Lewis and Steve Paul were pretty fast this week. Braddock Jr. definitely needs, like I mentioned in qualifying, to pick up the performance to catch Charles Jackson. And our last row is Brendan Patterson, our debut driver, Daniel James, starting last. Welcome to the Coke Vanilla Cup Series, rookie.
Yeah, basically, as we got a few seconds here, Charles Jackson comes in with a 297-point lead over Bill Bragg Jr. Here comes the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Onboards that we'll carry today, we'll start with the Dodge onboard of Charles Jackson. Right behind him, Bill Bragg Jr. carries the Toyota onboard camera. Vince Amarego, the Chevy onboard camera. Tristan Wilhoit, the Ford onboard camera. Sam Young, the Panasonic onboard camera. Chris Washer, the CarQuest onboard camera. Henry Sanford, the Domino's onboard camera. And Delon Abrahamian, the AAA onboard camera. Those that we just showed you are the top 7 in points down through Henry Sanford, as top 10 points coming in is Charles Jackson, Bill Bragg Jr., Vince Amarego, Tristan Wilhoit, Sam Young, Chris Washer, Henry Sanford, Tim Randolph, Delon Abrahamian, and Dylan Young. Wild cards coming into this one, Steve Pollard driving the 33 this week is the first wild card holder, and Jonathan Zorline, 11th in the points, holds the second one. Brendan Patterson, 13th in points, trying to get into the top 10 or get that final wildcard spot. He's 3rd in the wildcard chase. Chris Louvier, fresh off his win last week, is 4th and 16th in points. Preston Plord, Kyle Matthews, 5th and 6th in that battle. Zachary Fitzwater, James Qualls are 7th and 8th, as those guys basically kind of need a second win. Pace car is off, field under control. The rookie, Zach Rogers, and the Mountain Dew Southern 500 is green.
Okay. I was about to say jump to the restart there, but here comes Zach Rogers in the first corner.
Slow start there from the 15 is going to allow Ali Nelson to jump back into that inside line. Well, maybe not. Boy.
It's going to be really close in this first lap with the double foul. He had 2 wide, does not work at this track too well.
Usually it doesn't, but it worked out just fine right now through turn 1 and 2.
Oh, someone's going to slide up here.
That's what I'm afraid of as well. So they come off turn number 4. Tim Randolph was probably the closest back here as he gets his first Darlington stripe.
Mark George and Patterson in backup cars moving up through the field.
Or at least trying to. Patterson now makes the move on the 42 car. Preston Plord now to last.
It's all about being on the bottom.
Yeah, basically. As Zach Rogers gets a Darlington stripe, so too does Jackson, and it looked like maybe William Duncan in the 31 car as well.
That's what everybody in the field wanted to see. Oh, God, the 10 car slow.
It's way slow through turn 1 and 2 there.
God, he hit the brakes.
Oh, Pollard hard into the wall there.
Hey, look at Robert.
Yeah, he's going to make a move on the 23. I don't think that's going to move him into the top 10, though, as Gene Sanford passed him as well.
I don't know what's happening. Oh, my God. Look
Jessica Shelton in the wall, the 21 car.
We're keeping it green, but everybody's. Oh, God, the 10 car is horrible on the high side.
Yeah, it looks like that damage may be affecting him a little bit more than some of the others, as he's got another Darlington stripe now.
Zach Rogers is really struggling in the 10 car.
Yeah, that car not handling as well as it did on Thursday night. Thursday night there with the qualifying.
Delon Rahimian definitely running pretty fast. I mean, he got his best career finish at Barber, trying to do really better things. Here's Braddock.
Braddock going for second on Vince Almarego. This is second and third in the points right here. Almarego in the wall as well as Sanford.
Oh, God. Allie Nelson, best career finish to second at Martinsville all the way back to last season. Can't you pull it off this week?
Still looking for that first career win as Robert Pollard runs in 10th, and that's 74 car. Brand new team this week.
McGlynn Racing not doing a lot better than Ginn Racing was doing.
A lot of damage on the right side of that 00 car.
If this is a wreck,
whoa! Troubles for the 00 off the pace down the back straightaway.
Off the pace is an understatement. Max Anderson's best career finish is 13th. He's going here. I'll back up the speed.
So not quite sure what happened to Sanford, but he got wicked loose off turn 2 there. Caution flag is out.
What happened? Oh, God, I'm afraid to see.
Oh.
Mary Shelley. The tough season.
Tom Shelley and Brennan Patterson.
Not Washer.
And Daniel James on his debut.
Welcome. Well, hopefully he didn't hit the attenuator this week.
Tim Randolph with damage, and Charles Jackson is involved.
Well, he's not invincible, ladies and gentlemen.
Preston Plord with damage. Kyle Matthews with damage. I'm thinking Hooter Series there. Preston Plord is back here as well.
Hello, Mark George.
Mark George also has damage in the 42 car. Steve Pollard. That's William Duncan with damage. Sorry, 31 car. Levi McIntyre. James Qualls with damage.
He's got damage from hitting the wall.
And pit stops here under the yellow. As looks like Mary Shelley's going to be able to get service there. Sam Young is on pit lane in the 14. Jonathan Zorline in the 7.
Well, some guys are going to have longer
a lot of damage on the 7. The front end's off of that car.
Well, that was a big crash, but a lot of guys are going to have longer stops because they got to fix the right side of the car. So let's see who comes off. Zach Rogers is going to have definitely a long stop.
Well, actually, that car looks a lot better than the 00, for instance. So, 2 tires for the 6, and he's not going to be the first off pit lane.
Allie Nelson speeding on pit road for sure.
Delon Abrahamian second off pit lane. Vince Almarego, Bill Brack Jr., and Zach Flickinger, the top 5. Let's take a look back at what happened to bring out the yellow, though. And we are back. Here's what happened to bring out the yellow. It's going to be between the 17 and the 9. Jackson's car gets loose, turns down into the 17. Hard hit there. Actually, there's another wreck up above these guys. There's 3 different wrecks that happen at the same time.
Nice plow, Daniel.
And these 2 right here, this part of the wreck, as Patterson goes up and over.
Tom Shelley definitely not happy with Brennan Patterson.
And now let's take a look at what happened to the 14. Because there's
Sam Young, 3 straight top 10s. That's going to be derailed momentum.
And there's the 7.
That's where the 11 gets the damage. Oh, just hit the wall.
Joshua Osborne was just in front of the 7 of Zorline here. Qualls gets loose as well.
Oh, hard hit. And then the whole field's coming. Michelle, great avoidance.
And Zorline, he's holding the brakes. The car's still sliding, though. And right into Sam. Alexander Rowe misses this.
What a save. And the 14 goes flipping.
Yep. So up here.
That's where Randolph gets his damage.
So trying to look at Sam Young with his part of the wreck. Jack James, there's not really anywhere he could have gone, in all honesty.
Jack James?
Sorry, Daniel James.
Sorry, I had to. The 60 plows the 48.
That with it being a temporary driver, it's going to be very hard for me to not call him by the original.
Mary Shelley. The tough season continues.
As
she
gets turned by the 42 basically here. Well, she also somewhat got loose. I don't know. That was a weird one.
And then, the 60's on the bottom there. I don't know why he went up.
I don't know either, but with that, let's take a look at some of the onboards here and then get you back to the restart. On board, Charles Jackson.
Crinkled the hood.
On board, Sam Young.
Well, we're gonna need a new camera.
Apparently. And finally on board the 5. And we are back here at Darlington on lap number 10 as the field has gotten the one to go. Ali Nelson is the race leader after the pit stop cycle. Delon Abrahamian is second. Vince Amorego, Bill Brack Jr., Zach Flickinger, Seth Cole, Samed Ozkan, Robert Pollard, Chris Olivier, Cole Deaver, the top 10. Amy Shelley, Max Anderson, Dylan Young, Tristan Wilhoit, Christopher Pierce, Gene Sanford, as there's an issue with someone, Steve Pollard, Will Lewis. Zachary Fitzwater was 19th but is off the pace. And James Qualls round out the top 20 as Zayn Abdullah now will move up to 20th actually for the restart. Alexander Rowe is now 21st. Chris Wilson, Preston Plord, Zach Rogers, Kyle Matthews, Chris Washer, Henry Sanford, Joshua Osborne, Stephen Paul III, and Jessica Shelton now will be the top 30. Levi McIntyre, Tom Shelley, William Duncan, Daniel James, Charles Jackson, and Mark George, the lead lap cars. As out of the race after that last incident are the cars of Tim Randolph, Jonathan Zorline, Brennan Patterson, Sam Young, and Mary Shelley. This will take a huge hit for the 17 in the owner's title, where they were actually the second wild card coming into this one.
Ouch.
And pace car is off. Field under control of the 360 OTC Toyota for Bill Davis Racing of Ali Nelson, looking for her first career win in the Coke Vanilla Cup Series. Could it come here today? Green flag is back out. We're underway on lap 11.
Now it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. Now it's not double file. Who makes the mistake first?
As Seth Cole appears to be off the pace, either that or was caught sleeping on the restart.
He maybe was sleeping.
I'll go with sleeping because that car looks pretty clean. As Delon Abrahamian going for the lead, couldn't quite get the the Brickyard 400 win last week, wanting to get a different crown jewel this weekend.
Is everybody coming down the inside? Now this is where we're going to see who goes high and slips up.
As Nelson's going to be the one that we have to watch right now. Going to lose several spots here on that outside line.
How about McGlynn Racing?
That 74 car, Darlington stripe there for Nelson. Car looks to be good though, coming off still though. Try and get a look at the right side.
Another car coming up is Max Anderson.
Well, that one definitely not going to be good now.
Well, Alex Stephen Paul III in the wall back there.
And time to look at who is off the pace. Maybe not. Let's look at this first. Definitely some significant damage to the 36 now after that second hit. Take a look at the back of the field as Samed Ozkan makes a move for 5th there on the 55 car. Zachary Fitzwater is back out on track, but Daniel James is definitely off the pace.
Not surprised.
And that looks to be about the only one, as Fitzwater now makes the move on the 4 car. And we'll have to see how long it takes them to catch up to the 4 team as they now just try and salvage points today.
I think the 15 has won this season, so trying to go for a second win.
Yes, actually everyone that was top 5 in points has a win. Chris Walsh is the highest in points without a win. He is 6th in points coming in.
Yes, it's starting to fan out just a little bit here.
As the 15 has a Darlington stripe on that car. And Samed Ozkan actually is now in 4th as he's passed Bill Brack Jr., who has gotten his own Darlington stripe.
The McGlynn Racing 74 has dropped out of the top 10.
Rip. Oh, we've had a wreck! That's why they've dropped out of the top 10.
Well, the hood's bumped.
And Gene Sanford and Henry Sanford are on pit lane. Levi McIntyre, Zach Rogers, our pole sitter, is involved. Joshua Osborne James Qualls is in another one. Christopher Pierce. Heavy damage to the double zero. Dylan Young with damage.
The
Chris
74's
Washer.
got damaged.
Yeah, I mentioned that one. As the field will pit again.
Wow, this has been turned into, is this the Iowa race?
As field will pit yet again under the second yellow of the day, as Levi McIntyre has already taken his car behind the wall.
With that much damage, I'm not surprised.
Well, the car was smoking.
So 2 tires last time. Let's see if Allie Nelson's going to
And
have
this time it looks like drivers on that back half of pit lane are going for 2 tires again on the left side this time. Remember, his right side's last time. Looks like maybe left side tires this time on pit lane.
Well, remember, with new pavement, the tires don't wear as much.
And yeah, that's going to be the call here on pit lane. Is left side's only for the 6 of Ebrahimian. They did not fix the damage on 22, and Vince Almarego this time will be the winner off pit lane.
Nice stop by the 15 boys.
That 6 crew has not been getting the job done on pit lane tonight so far. As third off
They
pit
have the 6 has got the Jeff Gordon pit crew.
As third off pit lane was Samet Ozkan. Seth Cole is 4th, and Bill Bragg Jr. will be in 5th. As this is interesting right here. At least I thought Seth Cole was where he was. I don't know. With that, let's take a look back at what happened, though, to bring out the yellow for the second time tonight. And we're back. Here's what happened to bring out the yellow for the second time today. Coming off turn number 4, Dylan Young's car just breaks us right in front of Gene Sanford. Nowhere to go, and then it was on from there.
Man, I can't believe Steve Paul missed that.
As Jessica Shelton got a piece of it. There's Zach Rogers, Levi McIntyre, Henry Sanford, Charles Jackson's in another one, Osborne.
Just nowhere to go for everybody.
Kyle Matthews got another one. Looks like the 45 was in this one as well. Tom Shelley. Alexander Rowe with damage now to the 2 car.
If he survived, he might he might get a top 20.
As Tristan Wilhoit also got loose. What was Max Anderson doing down in here?
Just showing how bad he is.
Well, with that, let's take a few onboards of this one as well and then get you back to the restart yet again. Onboard Henry Sanford. Onboard Chris Washer.
Whoa, Gene flip.
And finally on board Charles Jackson. And we are back after the big one at Darlington. Zachary Fitzwater's on the tail end of the lead lap in 28th spot. So that just tells you how many drivers are still running here. Vince Almarego is the race leader over Delon Ebrahimian, Samet Ozkan, Seth Cole, Bill Bragg Jr., Allie Nelson, Amy Shelley, Steve Pollard, Muhammad Zainadullah, and Chris Wilson, the top 10. Chris Louvier, Cole Deaver, Jessica Shelton, Tristan Wilhoit, Will Lewis, Alexander Rowe, Max Anderson, Kyle Matthews, Robert Pollard, Daniel James, Mark George, the top 21, then Stephen Pollard III, Preston Plord, William Duncan, Zach Flickinger, Charles Jackson, and Dylan Young, the lead lap cars with, like I said, Zachary Fitzwater on the tail end of the lead lap. Out of the race now after that last incident, Tom Shelley, Chris Washer, Joshua Osborne, Zach Rogers, Gene Sanford, Henry Sanford, Christopher Pierce, Levi McIntyre, James Qualls. So yet another day where the 4 team will somehow gain points over the 70.
And they have no hood.
Yeah. As pace car is off, leaving the field under control of the Evernham Dodge of Zachary Fitzwater. How quickly can the leaders dispose of that 19 car? Into the restart zone, and we are green once again on lap number 20.
Well, if the 19 can stay out there for a few laps, we might have one more big one in us. So.
Allie Nelson getting shoved out of line already by Amy Shelley.
Like I mentioned in my previews, RCR had really strong in practice, and here comes one of the first RCR cars, Steve Paul, come up here.
Well, we've kind of lost one of them with some of the crash damage. The 31 has been involved in a wreck already tonight. 29 is already still running up in the third position. Now going for second is Samed Ozkan in that 29 car.
Whoa, Seth, that's never going to work.
Seth up to third now. As not Ozkan, that's Vince Almarego in the 15. I think I said Ozkan twice. Either way, Ozkan passing the number that he drives in the Hooter series, so that's part of the confusion.
Bohemian leads, trying to rebound, like you mentioned, from Indy.
Well, not so much a rebound. I mean, he still ran good, just didn't quite get the top finish like he might have wanted because he was running up front for so long. Meanwhile, Ozkan and Braddock with Darlington stripes.
Couldn't make it work up. The tires did not hold it.
And now Seth Cole to second as the 19 gets put a lap down by the 6 car.
And if the caution comes out, Fitzwater is going to cry.
And he might be the yellow if he's not careful.
Samed Ozkan's going to get another Darlington stripe.
Yep, 29 in the wall again as Amy Shelley now takes the third spot away. And Steve Pollard maybe takes it a little easy on his RCR teammate there.
Well, it looks like our RCR doesn't take it easy on our teammates if you watch the Hooters race.
And we're just going to leave it there. As Chris Wilson up the track had the inside of 22 there basically.
How about Max Anderson in his best career finish right now?
As Wilson and Zayn Abdullah both get a Darlington stripe. Looks like Ozkan might be in line for another one. I mean, at least that time he only kind of tapped the wall.
And I can't believe my eyes are going blind. Alexander Rose running top 15.
And the 12 of Amy Shelley is going for second here on Seth Cole. Big damage there for the 25.
Who cannot hit the wall? That's the real question.
As these cars are not handling all that well tonight. Caution flag flies yet again.
Oh, we jinxed it.
And Daniel James, I think, collided with someone back here.
And we really jinxed Alexander Rowe, didn't we?
I didn't say a word about him.
You know what? That's going to go in the mulligan category.
As the caution flag is out, Alexander Rose, Samed Ozkan, Max Anderson, Zach Flickinger, Preston Plord, Daniel James, Vince Almarego, Mark George, all involved in this one.
Who's left?
These guys.
Looks like we're going to be in for 30 laps. Snooze.
Well, you know what? If they can get into a green flag run, they're not racing that badly. It's just they can't avoid... Something about turn 2 is getting these cars loose, and I'm not quite sure what it is.
I did not mess with the AI line modifier, I promise.
I might have had to just to get it back down to 1.0, though. I don't know. That might be worth checking, though, as when we get done with this. I say that even though next year we're actually going to be running a different version of the track anyway. So...
Let's see. Let's see. Right side, 2 tires now.
I see right sides on the 25 and the 33 down pit lane, so we'll see if it's 2 tires again for the race leaders here.
Let's see if the 6th crew is not going to pull a Jeff Gordon now.
They have not done a good job at holding position at all tonight. 4 tires, 55 is a lap down.
Oh. 4 tires on pit road, and they're not. Ebrahimian
first off pit lane.
Good stop by Amy.
Amy Shelley is second, Seth Cole third, Steve Pollard is fourth, and Chris Wilson is fifth. I'm not quite sure why Zachary Fitzwater was allowed to pit there.
Fitzwater is being disjointed.
How?
The 4 car is made out of steel.
Apparently, let's go ahead and take a look back at what happened to bring out the yellow for the 3rd time tonight. And we're back. Same tunes, different story, or however that line goes. Samet Ozkan gets a little loose coming off turn number 2. Tries to save it, but comes down right into Vince Almarego. Around he goes. Chris Wilson gets the wall trying to avoid it. Max Anderson gets hit from behind by the 1 car. Kyle Matthews, there's... Whoa. Oh, wow. Plord, there's Rowe, Flickinger. How did Nelson split the gap?
Oh my God, Mark George with ARCA brakes.
And William Duncan also involved.
Robert Pollock's like,
there's
oh my God.
There's the 4 of Daniel James coming through.
Anderson. Oh God, Dylan Young, please don't plow.
At this point, they're all down there in the bottom anyway. So with that, there's only one onboard I can see taken, so let's do that and get us back to the restart here. Onboard, Vince Almarego. And we are back. There are cars on the tail end of the lead lap. Zach Flickinger will get to start on the outside line because he is in front of the race leaders. That allows Zachary Fitzwater to actually be on the tail end of the lead lap for this restart. Lon Abrahamian is the race leader over Amy Shelley. Seth Cole is 3rd. Steve Pollard 4th. Chris Wilson, Chris Louvier, Bill Brack Jr., Tristan Wilhoit, Will Lewis, Cole Deaver, the top 10. Jessica Shelton, Stephen Pollard 3rd. Kyle Matthews, Robert Pollard, Dylan Young, William Duncan, Charles Jackson, Ali Nelson, Max Anderson, and Samet Ozkan are the top 20. By the way, looks like that top 20 streak might be continuing on for today that we mentioned in qualifying. Drivers out of the race now. Vince Almarego, Mohammed Zain Abdullah, Preston Plord, Mark George join the list of drivers out of the race now as we are almost to half of the drivers out of this race.
No, that's 3. I don't know what Mark George did in Indy, but they've crashed 3 cars in the last 2 weeks. Last few weeks. Not a good stretch before you took
they crashed in qualifying at Indy. They crashed in qualifying here tonight, or this weekend, and then here tonight as well. So, as it's not been a very good Southern 500 so far, but that was just the first half. It can only go up from here for the second half, as cross flags would be displayed this time if we weren't getting the restart.
He says that, and
green flag is out. We're underway once again.
Man, the 19 jumped it.
Great. I think that's partially because the 55 is just so slow.
Now he says that the 55 is going to cause a gigantic ass wreck.
Yeah, would not surprise me. As the 2 cars also off the pace, the 4 cars off the pace.
Everybody off the pace.
Daniel James is not making many friends in his first race.
No, not as bad as Sheila Shear at Milwaukee.
As there's Alexander Rowe, and there is the speed differential for Flickinger.
55 is
he is 15 miles an hour off the pace in the corner.
Well, he definitely needs the Pick Stadium setup.
Meanwhile, Abrahamian back to the keeps the lead there. Amy Shelley is 2nd. Steve Pollard, Seth Cole, and Chris Wilson now are the top 5.
Chris Wilson hasn't had a top 5 since the second Chicago in, so, and Alexander Rowe is going slower than a bat.
I think Flickinger might be going even slower.
This is going to be a wreck because of Flickinger before the end of this one.
Actually, never mind. Rowe is still going slower out of that.
I can't believe they have not wrecked yet.
Meanwhile, look at the damage on the 31. 3 wide at Darlington is not going to end well.
It ended well.
I'm not sure how.
You know, Charles Jackson's been in 3 wrecks, and he's entering the damn top 10.
Amy Shelley gets the wall. Steve Pollard now to 2nd.
Steve's last win was race 9 at Motorsports. This is the first stop in the bleeding for Steve Pollard for sure.
Seth Cole now grabs 3rd, trying to get his first win in a while.
Steve, I don't know how many wins. Let's see on the chart.
As Daniel James is going less than 150. The race leaders are going 190.
Daniel James getting that rookie license revoked.
I mean, How
Can
much
we
of
see
this
their...
is really his fault, though? I mean,
Does that mean we get to see the return of Max Newman?
huh?
If the Ford gets his rookie license revoked, we get to see Max Newman again?
As Steve Pollard has caught the back of Delon Ebrahimian now. Quite possibly the longest green flag run we've had tonight, I think.
In my imagination. Steve Pollard won for his 5th win of his career, 3rd of the season.
And I think it would be I think the other one in the original cup was also in the Camping World scheme.
That's right. Yes, he won it. Yes,
Auto
that's
Club.
correct. He won it at California.
As there's the 4.
And Jack James. Oh my God.
Hey, I'm not the only one guilty of it. You just said Jack.
Well, you know, where's
Daniel
Jill?
James is going to hand the lead to Seth Cole, I believe.
And that's going to have a Darwin all over it.
As Delon Ebrahimian could not get around the 4. Here comes Chris Louvier. Chris Wilson like a bat out of hell.
He's a bat out of hell. Okay.
As Daniel James is way off the pace, in the way. Now Amy Shelley finally clears.
Can we please get the 4 off the track?
Delon Ebrahimian finally gets past the 4. Steve Pollard is still getting stuck behind him. Loses a spot now to Shelton.
Well, Steve Pollard's not going to hit the wall, but not going to be happy.
That's back to 8th for the 33. Here comes Nelson, who's in 9th.
33's got a strong enough car not to lose to Nelson. But now, who is leading? Seth Cole.
That is Seth Cole as Samet Ozkan. Holy crap.
We got Charles saying, holy crap. Here, like, oh, what happened?
As Louvier looking for 2 in a row. He's going for the lead on the 25 car.
How about 2 in a row at Crown Jewel races, too? That's unprecedented.
Tristan Wilhoit this season.
No, I mean back-to-back.
Oh. As Samet Ozkan now holds up his own teammate as well in the 07.
We have so many cars. This is like 2019 with Rick Ware racing in the fast cars.
As battle for the lead, Chris Louvier, Seth Cole battling for the top spot at Darlington. Who's the next lap car? Oh.
And Alexander. Oh my God. We're going to catch Jack James again at this rate.
Daniel James. That's twice now. That's twice in this green flag run.
God.
As here comes Jessica Shelton trying to close in on the 07 of Will Lewis.
Steve Paul way up the track.
And this is a battle for 4th. Yes. So Shelton now up to 4th. Ali Nelson back into the top 5 in the 36 car.
It's anybody's game with all these slow cars. There's one holdup. It could be anything.
As now the 2 leaders have cleared the 2 car, and Seth Cole now goes for the top spot once again.
Where's Daniel?
Not the next lap car yet. So, meanwhile, Chris Wilson has gotten trapped in behind the 2 car.
Everybody's trapped behind the 2 car.
And Shelton will get to the inside of Alexander Rowe. Nelson will do the same. So the rest of the top 5 there did a good job to get around the 2 once they got to the corner.
I feel
God!
God, the closing rate was incredible.
That was insane closing rate. There's Daniel James.
And he's going to get caught. He's going to go 3 laps down for the end of this race at this rate.
Yeah, he's already 2 down. Fitzwater actually doing a... Oh my God!
Charles is just amazed over here.
That closing rate. Chris Louvier back to the race lead. That closing rate is insane. As Fitzwater cannot get around the 4 car.
I mean, it's so hard when you're going 150 to pass somebody. It's hard to get that momentum back up.
As Fitzwater now clears, here comes Louvier off turn number 4. Where's he going to catch the 4 car?
If Louvier wrecks the 4, everybody's going to be plowing. So I don't know.
And Louvier catches him on corner exit, almost. Can Seth Cole take advantage? No. Louvier, I think, is going to be able to make the move on the 4.
No, can't make the move. Still going slow. Here comes Seth. Force
And
defense.
how do you get into the wall going that slow?
Charles out here roasting Daniel.
Ali Nelson. Oh, God. Oh, there's contact with the 07.
Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have broken Charles live on air.
Oh, contact! They save it!
What the hell? Oh my God. Daniel, get off the track.
Meanwhile, was there someone pitting? I don't know.
Charles has just lost his voice and the complexion I don't know what's going on either.
Zachary Fitzwater has caught Zach Flickinger. This is a battle for position as Flickinger is off the pace.
Allie Nelson's in third, trying to go for her first career win. They're going to catch the 4 before the end of this race. I hope we know that.
As here they come right now, catching the 55.
Oh no, Seth is going to screw.
Seth actually gets by pretty easily.
Now let's see. Now they caught
And Ozcon. They caught Ozcon again.
Now it's going to be harder because Fitzwater's in the way, so now 29's going to get in the bottom.
As Louvier will clear the 19 and will be able to get to the inside of the 29 in one corner.
Oh my God, these lap cars are so damn slow.
Less than 10 laps to go in the Southern 500 as Flickinger's going to get a spot back from the 19. And the lap cars are battling in front of the third place car.
The closing rate was amazing. They caught him back with 3 seconds. Oh my God, Will Lewis.
Nearly contact with the 29, or with the 19, I mean.
Well, oh my Lord, it is amazing how fast they are catching these cars.
As Nelson gets stuck behind the 55, now makes the move on the 55 of Flickinger.
It is incredible. Who's next? Dylan Young.
Dylan Young would be the next one, either that or Alexander Rowe.
I'm going to make money. Jack James ahead of Alexander Rowe. Back to Daniel James.
As Daniel James is actually taking the car behind the wall, so...
Thank the Lord.
They have retired in 24th spot, so we will not have to encounter them again.
I tell you, a turtle was going faster than Daniel James.
As not the way that he would have wanted his debut race to go, in all honesty, but...
At least his brother or whatever.
Oh, Shelton in the wall. That's for...
Remember when Jack was doing 120 on track and pulled it off after one lap at Charlotte?
Chris Wilson now up to 6th. As Dylan Young goes a lap down, shouldn't fight his teammate that much.
Well, that's going to be some interesting news at Hendrick.
Meanwhile, Nelson and Pollard still 3rd and 4th. As here comes Chris Wilson looking for... That's Fitzwater.
God damn it.
As Alexander Rowe now goes a 3rd lap down to the race leaders.
And still will not get his best career finish. Chris Louvier pulling away.
And Kyle Matthews is pitting.
He's got damage though.
But do they have to pit again?
Yes, by this way, the speed they're going, yeah.
Chris Wilson now makes the move on the 07. Taking a look back through just to show. William Duncan out of 14th has to pit.
Who can make it on fuel with 3 laps to go?
3 laps to go at Darlington, and fuel mileage might be an issue for some of the race leaders. Chris Louvier's not going to make it. Seth Cole's not going to make it. Nelson's not going to make it. Steve Pollard's staying out another lap.
Well, I think Steve had no choice.
Will Hoyt stays out again.
Can Will Hoyt make 3 crown jewels?
As Steve Pollard now leads with 2 laps to go at Darlington.
Steve, stay on the track.
The Camping World Chevy now leads. Will Hoyt gets the chance to save a little bit of extra fuel behind the 2.
Steve, stay on the track, please. I'm telling you, don't pit.
He's staying out for now. Will Hoyt has to pit.
Yes.
And the white flag is out for Steve Pollard.
Oh my God. I'm not saying anything because I'm not having this race be done. Go ahead.
As now catching up to the 24, Dylan Young. And coming into turn number 3, Young has to pit. And on fuel mileage, Steve Pollard's going to grab win number 3 on the season, clinching his spot into the chase practically.
Woo! Good run, and he's going to be the only car in the lead lap. The most dominant performance in Coke Vanilla Cup Series history.
Well, no, because he didn't lead the most laps and then do that.
Well, I'm talking about Charles Jackson, 11th.
Shelton's going to be 13th, it looks like.
Steve's out of gas.
No, he's just slowing down to come to pit lane.
We're still in standby time.
But we're still waiting, and now the standings are official. Steve Pollard, the only car to make it on fuel.
The only car on the lead lap.
The rest of the top 10, Tristan Wilhoit, Chris Louvier, Ali Nelson, Seth Cole, Cole Deaver, Will Lewis, Delon Abrahamian, William Duncan, and Stephen Pollard III.
Delon Abraham, 3 straight 8th place finishes. Keep that in mind.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my god. And he actually led the most laps today.
Yep.
Bill Bragg Jr. actually comes home 11th, not Charles Jackson. Jackson's going to finish 2 laps down in 17th. So the gap will close up front, at least a little bit. Robert Pollard in his season debut finishes 15th. And if you were down here, I feel so bad if you are still watching this. Steven, your final thoughts today?
It was really an interesting race. The first half wasn't too good with the wrecks, but the second half was good with all the lap cars. It was insane. Tough break for Louvier to lose on fuel mileage like that. All 3 Pollards in the top 15. Good win for Steve. Definitely needed his momentum after missing races, having to get in the 05, the 43, the 98, the 23, here, there, and there in every series. Delon Abraham, like I mentioned. Good run for Seth. Ali Nelson's team has a lot of speed. Tristan, first, 25th, and 2nd in the Crown Jewel races this year. Braddock gained points on Jackson, but it's not going to be a lot. Good run for Robert Pollard. Next weekend, we will be at the triple header at Michigan. Another race where I'm going to have a heart attack with Steve.
Especially because it's a COT race, and so the 98 car will be what Steve is piloting next week.
And knowing how Evernham is, Steve's probably going to be in the 05 car.
And with that, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't today for more gaming and racing related content. Thanks Steven for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.
See you guys.